All right, you all. I want to make sure you know how to go ahead and build out your DraftKings cash lineups here for this weekend for week 11 of the starting. The already started this week though, but for the 18th, Sunday main as well as going into Monday. I recommend playing into the Monday. That's rounding out those maybe half your lineups just because it's a super awesome scoring game that'll happen. Kansas City and the Rams on Monday night. So this is why I'm including here for these consistency ratings, standard average, deviation points per game. What I did here exactly was for example, with Gurley, standard deviation 7.7. That's just a fine number, and average points per game for the season 30.1, but also 30.9 the past 5 games. So excellent there, a bit of a trend up, and a coefficient variable of 0.255. That is. In fact, you won't find a lower coefficient variable other than Melvin Gordon this week. So, of course, also a very nice, consistent cash viable game. And in his past 5, like right here, 20.7, also trending up another point per game past 5 games, using him effectively. As another maybe good example, running back, but Fournette, insufficient data. Just noting that there when you come to the site wealthyfantasyfootball.com and go through these before setting your final lineup, so you can see how consistent these are. It's based on mainly though the couple of numbers here, just to know as well. Kerryon Johnson, I don't like so much this week at all, but at 0.55 and not as consistent, obviously. But then Reddy getting more involved in passing game, things like that going on, and 16.4 to past 5. He should deviate back to his per game average of 14.3, so he should lose a couple points per average in my estimation coming up. Just a quick look at the wide receivers to finish up here. That was an interesting play. Smith-Schuster, for example, trending down 18.4 per game, but 15.6 past 5 games. The consistency is still there at 0.33 coefficient variable and a standard deviation of 6. That's fine as well. As we mentioned, a 7 was good also with even with Gurley. But when you look at it here, let's say you go over to the DFS research station and you look at, for the wide receiver, Smith-Schuster right here. I was going to highlight one moment. But working across the line here on the spreadsheet, right here, Smith-Schuster, as you can see here, his targets, interestingly, per game, one of the better numbers, is at 9.2 targets per game, actually 6.2 receptions, not one of the better numbers. A lot of guys, some guys at least you'll see here, so we can just switch this up in order as receptions per game. There's a big scoring factor on DraftKings, of course, which you can consider as wide receivers to play this week as well, and how consistent they're getting the targets, first of all, of course, and the receptions. How many of those turn out to be, like, for example, Antonio Brown, surprisingly pretty consistent, but like if you compare him to Adam Thielen, okay, just trying to get to him. Let's compare Thielen to Brown for a moment. Thielen takes 11.4 targets a game to get to 8.7 receptions a game, and Antonio Brown takes 10.6 targets, only 10.8 targets a game rather, to get to that 6.3 receptions a game. That number is also trending up. As you will see, look at the wealthyfantasyfootball.com site. He's getting better, and his reception percentage per his targets is getting better. So that's trending up, and he's an excellent play for the week as well. To find some of the guys, obviously you need to get in lower cost area. You just look on down to the list to be able to afford these cash lineups. Would be guys such as Boyd, Cooper, and Galladay. As you can just look and compare all this information there at the research station. You can go over here if you want to look at all sorts of things. Red zone stats, everything from inside of 20 targets to inside the 5, actual receptions. Actually, no, inside the 5. Where we go here? No, there's nothing inside. It either goes inside of 20 or inside of 10 for receivers. It goes inside of 5, I believe, for running backs. If you switch over to that. So all this can help you differentiate further if some of these guys are looking to be having similar numbers where it doesn't really matter after you've already compared the past 5 game average with the total average on the season, and how consistent this number being lower, more consistent, as we can say, obviously, Gurley is the most consistent play, and see how those some of those numbers compare. So look there and get the research station to dive deeper into those things. If you want to add that on to your list there, by clicking on the link in the description. So I'll come back with another video hopefully soon for tournaments for DraftKings as well. Take care.